What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Beers and Breakdowns. In this episode, we are doing Termina List episode 6. And I don't know if you guys caught the last episode of Termina List, or if you caught, like, any, just watched me in the past year. I have not been a fan of Termina List until I finally, after, like, a year of this show being out, I gave episode 5 a shot.
I love how, since the beginning, since we started doing Termina List, everybody gave you so much crap because you hated it.
And I didn't care.
And if you haven't seen, he was staunchly opposed to Termina List.
Hated
it. Didn't like anything about it. And he's finally come around. The whole time I've been trying to tell him it's a good show. You've been trying to tell him. And now he finally likes it.
Episode 1 through 4 was so cringe to me and it's so bad. I couldn't like get myself to do episode 5. I couldn't do it. And I was like, this show's the worst. And then finally it had been like enough time to where I was like, you know what? People have been asking, hey, finish Termina List. I watched episode 5 and I was like, of course. It's good.
That's good.
And I don't care about flip-flopping because we did episode 5 and Abel was like, so you're just going to change your mind? I'm like, if the shoe fits, if 1 through 4 is trash, I'm saying it's trash. And then 5 comes out and it's good, then it's good. Like,
good.
So, and then I watched episode 6 for this and I liked it again.
Good.
So, sorry. Episode 1 through 4, I think we're terrible.
It's okay to change your mind.
No,
and I appreciate you for that. No, not change your mind.
No.
You changed your viewpoint on the last couple episodes, I guess.
Yeah, because I didn't change my mind. Episode 1 through 4, I think were horrendous. I hated watching them. Episode 5 just went so good. It like complete 180 for me. The action was there. It wasn't like all the constant character buildup. We were actually moving the story along to me. And then episode 6, again, I was like, I'm in it. Like episode 6, I really, really enjoyed it.
All right, well.
So I guess that just happens. And, there's a lot of shows where you watch an episode or two and not be in it. And then all of a sudden you dig it. But damn, 4 episodes. I mean, that's still a fail on Termina List's part that they didn't do it sooner. 1 episode is typically all you get. Episode 2, you need to start pulling us in.
You're one shot at a first impression.
You guys didn't do a great job until episode 5. I'm surprised all those people, and that's my theory on the last one, is that most fans were such fans of the book that they stuck around to episode 5 because they knew what was coming. They knew there was more involved. They were fans of the story. So luckily you had that pre-existing audience to get them to episode 5. Because if you just came out with a new show, most people aren't going to get to episode 5.
Look, I have to disagree with you, my friend, because I haven't read the books and I liked it. So maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Well, you have bad taste, though.
I beg to differ.
Situation's escalated. I am not bringing this to you.
I'm coming to get you.
Negative. I'm moving in the opposite direction. You need to go.
All units at Stinson report Berets. We need you south. Suspect is heading your way.
Fucking got it. Moving in for pit. It's not gonna fucking work on this guy.
She said it's not gonna work on this guy, and that's an accurate, true to life. Because when we're in law enforcement, we do a ton of drivers training. Like, it's actually crazy the amount of drivers training we get to do. It was so fun.
Yeah.
And my instructor was the best, dude. Every time I would send it 100% as hard as I could, and every time I'd get out of the car and he goes, yeah, like that, but better. And I would get back in and do it again. And we got to push those cars to the absolute limit. Pit maneuvers over and over and over and over again. So we got really good at pit maneuvers. And the key to a pit maneuver is finesse. You're not slamming into the car. So essentially what you want to do is get a perfect world scenario, you would just get to the point where you're touching and traveling at the same speed of the car and then just slide it over. And it's that finesse that breaks the rear wheels loose and causes them to spin out.
Oh, damn.
So you don't want to do an impact. So you're not coming out and then trying to attack it. You're really trying to get perfectly parallel and then finesse it over, and it spins them right out. The downside to a pit maneuver is that when they spin out, you could potentially be facing the driver who could have a gun pointed at you. That's always a reality. Not good. But typically you could drive past that, and then the person behind you, if they're tactically inclined, could stay a good distance back, and then the person spun out kind of between you two, and then in the rear you get out, do an offset so you're not in the fire of those. Anyway, you see what I'm saying? But what did James Reese do in order to avoid the pit maneuver? He brake checked. So what he's doing when he's doing that is essentially getting you off his rear bumper so he can't slide out the rear tires. By brake checking, you hit the center of his vehicle, which now all 4 tires are taking that impact, i.e. it works. You prevent yourself from sliding out. So that was super accurate on how to avoid getting pit maneuver.
And it seemed like since the cop hit him so hard, instead of that finesse, when he hit him, he kind of bounced off and then crashed himself out.
Exactly. And he lost it, and then he was able to use that momentum, come back, and then slam back into him. So that was super accurate.
Moving!
One thing I liked about this scene too is like if you get that many law enforcement officers on you, you're not getting away.
Right.
So it really bothers me when you have like a whole fleet of LE on you, and then all of a sudden they like make an escape by vehicle. As far as the vehicle is concerned, you're done. Because you know what's faster than any vehicle on the road? A radio.
Oh, the radios? Yeah.
So we're just calling ahead, relaying where you're going and having people getting ready. And in this one, they laid the spike strip. They sent him off the road. Pretty much exactly what LE would actually do. And then they saw him with a gun. I wouldn't have pulled the trigger on him. Like, he didn't point the gun at you. He didn't fire on you. He wasn't like, he just had a gun. But they opened up on him, which historically, that's what a lot of law enforcement do. And once one officer starts shooting,
it's a ripple effect.
It's a ripple effect. They call it sympathetic fire, and everybody starts unloading, which turns out most of the time really, really bad. And that's what they did here. Obviously, it's Hollywood, so they made him escape through the woods. The 1.0002% chance of survival, and he was able to take it. But I'm not mad at it because everything tactically is making sense.
Well, also he's a Navy SEAL, so I mean, of course he's going to be able to escape.
Yeah.
Say that again.
You guys civilians give so much credit to Navy SEALs. Like, obviously he could fly.
He's a Navy freaking SEAL, okay?
And then all the fans of the show are like, Buck doesn't get it. He has brain tumor. If I ever make a show, if I ever make a movie, if I ever make anything, I'm giving my main character brain tumor. Because then, no matter how bad his acting is, you guys are going to defend him and be like, he has a brain tumor. Because that's what happens in Termina List. You don't get it. He talks like that because he has a brain tumor. You don't get it. He did that tactic because he had a brain tumor. You don't get it. He's a bad actor in this because he had a brain tumor. I'm like, you don't get it. Having a brain tumor does not excuse you from every damn thing under the sun. Everything you don't like about the show, they just attribute to the fact that James Reese had brain cancer.
It's an easy cop-out.
It's an easy cop-out. Drove me crazy. Listen, I get it, guys. 5 and 6 so far, awesome. 1 through 4, brain tumor doesn't save you. That was ass. I'm sorry. That stuff was poopy.
You know, one of the first times I realized the difference in public perception of Green Berets and Navy SEALs, I was doing mountain school, and we were in Vail, Colorado, and we were on a ski lift, and we had to wear our camouflage or our multicam uniforms. And the guy's like, we were sitting there with a couple civilians on the ski chairlift going up, and he was like, what do you guys do? And it's like, we're here from mountain school, and we got to talking, and they're cool. So you're like, yeah, it's we're Green Berets. And it's like, so Green Berets, you guys know any SEALs? And we're like, actually, there's a couple SEALs in the class with us, because we had, I think, 2 or 3 SEALs. And like, there's SEALs with you guys? And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, there's SEALs with us? Yes, they're SEALs. Yeah.
They're down there. They're signing autographs right now. Have fun.
And the worst part was one of the SEALs. I've worked with a bunch of different SEALs before, but this one guy that was in that class with us that time was amazing. He was the only SEAL I ever worked with that I would actually want to have on a team with me. And he was he still was a really good friend, and he was a really good dude. And so I was like, yeah, we got SEALs with us. It's like, it's actually pretty cool. Yeah, when I say SEALs that I would like to be on a team with, that's not knocking the SEALs, because the SEALs and the Green Berets are completely different. So the type of people that are successful on a SEAL team might not necessarily be successful on an ODA. So it just so happened this one guy he fit the mold of an ODA, of a guy on an ODA.
But all Green Berets would be successful on a SEAL team. But not all SEALs would be successful on.
I don't know, man. We don't write as good.
Just kidding.
We don't write as good as books.
I'm just kidding.
Make sure you check out our new collaboration with Barbell Apparel. This line was designed for everybody who understands that in order to do more and be more, you got to get out there and chase that fear. Right now, we've got our initial run of shirts and my personal favorite, the shorts, the 7-inch Phantom short and also the 5-inch Ranger short for all of you that want to show off those thighs a little bit. All of which is live right now. In order to step up your game, go ahead to barbellapparel.com, search FNG Academy to make sure that you never break rule number 1. Always look cool.
Is that chest seal?
Yeah. Another thing I like about, I'm a fan of this episode already. So I really enjoy the fact that he has a bullet wound. He goes to find a place. He goes in the medicine cabinet, and there's not the stereotypical suture set, and he starts doing the sutures on himself up. God, I'm so tired of seeing that. He doesn't do that. Matter of fact, he goes to the medicine cabinet, and there's nothing there. And I'm like, well, that's cool. What are you gonna do? And he has to be creative. So he finds the chest seal for the defibrillator, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm pretty sure. It was the chest seal for the defibrillator. And so he cuts off the chest seal, and then it's like, okay, well, this will seal it. And I don't know why he thumbs his hole, and just to make that gross sound that makes us all cringe. And then, but he shoves the chest seal over it. So that, like, thinking outside the box, I really enjoy that. And that's where I feel like Jack Carr's coming in and saying, you know what, everyone else would do this, but we could do better.
Yeah, I do like that, where it's not the stereotypical, like you said, suturing himself up. But thumbing the hole, you always got to thumb your hole.
What hole are we talking about?
The repeaters are going to be grounded. As a matter of fact, I hope it rains for days. That storm, fucking frogman luck right there.
I could steal one of these news birds. Got a radio to monitor communications. Touchdown in his AO.
What, and lead the FBI right to him? No, we're not doing that. If you can find him in a helo, he's already fucked. Son of a bitch. You gotta sit tight, let him do his job.
Fucking warned him, man.
She has a potty mouth.
So dirty.
Tyner Rushing, Liz Riley. I don't know what your real name is versus your character name.
She is
it
Liz Riley is her character name.
Is her character Tyner?
Naughty girl.
Stop.
This is the first time a character has cursed more than you guys.
I know.
Listen, we can't do that on YouTube.
Right. They don't like it. Trust me. If you were sitting right here, we would all agree with you.
We like it.
We like it.
Okay, thank you.
But not professionally. Okay, so calm down.
It's because their CEO's a woman.
Now, when I saw this and he was talking about eyes in the sky and all this stuff, I was like, that ain't his problem. Canine's his problem. I was like, the dog is his problem, not eyes in the sky. But immediately, they have the dogs in, and they have a canine handler in, and then they deal with that. A dog will always win. 100% of the time, he's going to beat you. The weakness of a dog team is the handler. A dog isn't out there operating by himself. So you need to beat the handler. So things that you could do is make crazy patterns and loop around a lot, and you get the dog looking like he's confused. The dog knows what you're doing. He's following your trail. He's got you. But what you're doing is not trying to defeat the dog. You're trying to make the dog handler
lose confidence
in the dog and think that he lost the scent and then lose trust. So you're always just trying to, if you are ever trying to escape the dog, you don't think about the dog. You think, how could I make the dog handler distrust his own dog? And that's everything that you're trying to do. And then so they go a step further, and we could talk about it when the scene comes up, but killing the deer to cover himself with blood, it's very Walking Dead kind of thing. But how would you get that shot off? I'm assuming in order to make that work without being detected, you would have to use a bow kill, which is extremely hard in normal situations, let alone while you're on the
now
run.
you got to track the deer.
You have to track the deer. You have to do all the hunting things, which anyone's who ever hunted before. I'm not a big hunter, but I know many hunters, and you can go out there for days on end and never get a
You can lose
a
your
kill.
deer.
So the fact that he just gets super lucky and gets the deer, that's nitpicking though.
Yeah.
Because I still enjoy it, because if so happens that you came up on roadkill, you could try to use that to throw off the scent. Anything at that point to throw off the dog, I'm going to try it. If I find roadkill, I'm going to walk in crazy patterns. I'm going to do mud, cross water. Anything that I could try, I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
Know what's going on with you, Reese? Captain Howard has made a full-time job out of covering your 6. And given the fact that you couldn't protect your men, nor your family, we can't in good conscience.
You hear that, Reese? You got what it takes? What up, sir? You're gonna tarnish your daddy's reputation as a frog man. Negative, sir!
You showed me you're half the fucking warrior he was. I guarantee I never quit on my men. Don't you quit on me.
That scene's sick, dude.
Yeah.
That flashback scene's so dope. So many people try to replicate like Buds in the shows, and it's so cheese corn that, and I'm gonna be honest, this show has done a lot of cheese corn. So when I saw that come up, I was like, here we go. It was so dope. I feel like that instructor is a real Buds instructor.
Yeah. I got the same feeling
Dude,
from him too.
His acting was so
It's
beautiful.
like the mustache is perfect. His aura is and personality and persona it's spot on. I feel
Dude,
like.
the way he talked to him, the things that he said, the demeanor that he had, dude, beautiful scene. And then the cut to the guy sitting in the chair, and then like you could see like them getting in his head, him getting in his own head because of finally the tumor actually makes sense, and like it's hitting. Dude, that was a beautiful scene.
Yeah, I like that one.
I love that Bud scene. That
I
was
want to
probably
look that guy up too. The actor there.
The actor that was the instructor. Well done.
Nailed
man.
it.
That nailed
Your
it. That
one
was
spot
badass.
in the show just killed it.
Killed it. That was badass. My man.
Fast rope action.
We have an unidentified cell signal that just went active. Sending updated GPS now.
It's really close, sir. Just over that ridge.
All right, let's go. Move out on me.
All right, Paul. Totally get it. Understand it's way cool to have the helicopter fast rope infill, but I think that's the wrong approach. I think that's kind of a stupid infill platform and way to go about it for the HRT team.
For what they're doing, for their mission, that's kind of unnecessary.
It's completely unnecessary. You should have quads. You should have side-by-sides. You should have a rolling resupply of water, tents. Why not have split team operation where you have 2 guys on quads? Okay, think about this. The whole thing is you're trying to find one person that's out in the open, right? Who does that better than anybody? BORTAC, Border Patrol.
Mm-hmm.
Their main bread and butter is finding people out in the open. So do what they do. And what does BORTAC and Border Patrol do? They're on quads. They have rolling resupplies from trucks. They're definitely not getting in a special operations foot patrol.
They're not going and assaulting an objective where speed is paramount, right? They are kind of, they're looking for one guy, but they've got an entire team, so they can kind of almost dictate, to an extent, kind of dictate what they need to do.
Right.
They don't need to get in and just fast rope in real quick and,
get in, get out.
They don't even know where he's at.
Right. So you get in there, and then you could, and then also use those vehicles to be like, hey, he's moving this direction, and then use the vehicles to cut that person off, and then close them in, because essentially you're just trying to close out the space until you have them in a small enough space to where you find them. So going everybody in on foot and doing a helo infill, not an intelligent choice. But I get it if I was Jack Carr and directing the show, that it looks cooler.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But it could have looked just as cool to do both, to have the infill and then have a couple guys on quads. So you have the guys infill, rappel in, you get that cool scene, and then a couple guys come in on the quads, rah, 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 meet up and go, all right, you guys take perimeter, rah, and then they're completely gone.
Yeah.
And now we know you're intelligent enough to have your supplies for the mission.
You know, it'd been really cool is if they would have Halo jumped in. That would have been pretty sick.
That would have
with
been
mini
sick.
bikes strapped to their fronts.
Hell yeah.
And then just ride the dirt bikes around.
Just turn HRT into like a totally
it's the SEAL team guys.
SAS operation.
Yeah.
T, you up? Oh, so you up? Oh, no, he got my path.
We got him. Headed east from you.
We have multiple heat signatures.
Copy. Which one's Reese?
I don't know.
All right, so that was another really cool thing that James Reese is trying to do is throw heat sensors out. So he's connecting two batteries together and then tossing them to replicate a heat signature, so that way ISR loses them. I just want you guys all to know that people don't do this, right? Like SEALs don't do this. So so essentially Jack Carr is a SEAL, but you have to remember that Jack Carr is also an author and a very much an enthusiast of survivalist type stuff, of tactical type stuff, of these things. So for someone like James Reese to connect two batteries and throw it, like maybe one class in 100 teach somebody, a SEAL, how to do that. Just like their Green Berets get taught literally everything under the sun. But that doesn't mean that every Green Beret knows all that stuff, right? You like one Green Beret will take a driving school. One Green Beret's taking sniper school. One Green Beret's taking advanced driving school. One Green Beret's taking, the CIA asset. What's that school that they do where you're following tails and creating leads?
Advanced special operations.
Point is, everyone's taking random schools all over the place. Not every one of us is equipped with all this stuff. So James Reese is clearly like an enthusiast on his own to know these things. He's a survivalist, right? He's a survivalist enthusiast. He's a tactics enthusiast. So, which I think is really cool. I'm not dogging it. I'm just saying that, like, if you think that all SEALs know all this stuff, no.
His character is essentially every SEAL rolled into one.
Yeah, exactly.
And
just like if you took every Green Beret and rolled it into one person, they'd be superhuman.
He's a full team basically, but he's one person. Because like you said, you're gonna have an expert on your team, where somebody on your team might think of this, and all the other things that he's done. Somebody on the team might think of each one,
but
it's not gonna be the same guy every time. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the only issue with the heat, trying to throw off the ISR, I mean, it's the middle of the day. That stuff's not working anyway.
Right.
You're not picking up heat signatures in the middle of the day. We fought in Afghanistan all the time, and in the middle of the day, we're on our own. At night, oh, dude, you get up and move, we know exactly where you are because we're picking up your giant white hot heat signature.
Well, I feel like they could also switch back and forth, too, from just like the infrared, looking at the heat signatures, to just a regular optic and be like, oh, I see him moving here. I don't see him moving over there,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like there's other things they can do where that's not the foolproof way. But it is pretty cool. It looks cool, and it kind of makes sense.
Right. It makes sense enough, and I'm buying it. It's just really cool. It's a cool thing to think of.
Yeah.
I was happy to see it. I'm not dogging it at all. I thought it was really neat.
I was like, oh, that makes sense. He's putting positive to positive, negative to negative. It's going to cause a reaction.
Yeah, it's neat.
Don't do it!
He did it.
I mean, if we're being honest, that much C4 would have just killed everybody. He buried it like 3 inches in the ground, and it was like 4 sticks of C4. Everybody dead.
Yeah.
It was a kamikaze mission at that point. Yeah. But so that much C4, everybody dead. But again, it's done well enough to where it's like, I understand that he's like, he doesn't care if he dies.
Yeah.
And like that's what I like about it is like he's not like, oh, I know this is gonna work, you know, and planning it out and like the trajectory and this is how it's gonna go. He's kind of just Hail Mary passing it, and he's like, I don't give a shit. It's the end of the road. So if I die, I die.
Yeah.
And then he's kind of living through it. So, man, it's like I don't understand how it could be this good when it was just so bad before. Like, why didn't they start with this?
I'm looking at it from a practical standpoint. I've been with mountain school. We went through avalanche training, and there's a lot that goes into something like this. You got to look at the slope of the hill, the composition of the soil. Was it
accurate in that sense?
I mean, I'm looking at it from
believable?
a snow sense, but yeah, the mountain was steep enough. It just depends on the composition of the soil. But yeah, it was pretty believable, I think.
Oh, nice.
Like, so I mean, he's also been to a school like that, so it just goes to show you he's a jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades.
He knows everything.
And where does that come from? I mean, at the end of the day, it all leads back to Jack Carr being an enthusiast about all this stuff.
Yeah.
And we all kind of know that he is just because you could see him from the outside. And like, I've never met Jack or probably never will, but you could see that he loves this shit. Like, he loves this shit. Like, he loves
That's what I live for.
He lives for this shit. Like, I'm not into this stuff on my free time. I'd rather work on my car or, you know, other things, but that guy loved this shit. But now it's coming through that all his love is like you're seeing it in all these really cool scenes.
And what's awesome is you could tell his influence where he's not getting overridden by directors and producers and stuff like so many other movies where we've known good advisors that have worked on the movies that have just been getting shut down. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's cool to see somebody that's actually allowed to explore their craft. You know?
And you know what? I'm gonna say it, and I say something I never thought I'd say, but looking forward to season 2.
Ooh!
I mean, I'm converted.
I'm happy to hear you say that. I'm looking forward to season 2 as well.
I love it. Like I love it now, and I'm really excited to.
Let's hope season 2 keeps the ball rolling. Yeah. There's 5 books, isn't there?
There's a lot. So if they keep going, like, you're in the money. I just hope that if any of those guys listen to this, like, we just get there faster, please. Please.
Maybe Jack Carr. If anybody knows Jack Carr,
pass on the message. Jack Carr would be like,
send him this episode and the one before. Don't send him the previous 4 that we did.
Oh, I don't care. Just tell him to get there faster. Just be like, not that he cares what we think, but please get there faster.
I imagine he's sitting at home. He's got his notebook. Get there faster. Got it.
Wake up, Army. Wake up, Army. Wake up, Army.
All right, buzz. I just like I like the dynamic of his character. It was like he's not gonna fail his mission. You might die along with him in the process, but if he can, he's still a patriot, and he's not gonna let a soldier die if he can help it. He's very much going to complete his mission, but if he can secondary help you and protect you and not hurt you, he will do that too.
It just shows, like you said, he wants to finish his mission. He doesn't want to hurt other people, especially the people on our side. He doesn't want to hurt them. He only wants to hurt the people that are responsible for his team getting messed up in the beginning. So everybody else, like, you're a distraction and you're an inconvenience, but he doesn't want to hurt them.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that episode of Beers and Breakdowns. Make sure you hit like, subscribe. If you enjoy the channel, please let us know down below. Thank you guys for watching. And all of our regular viewers, we love you guys. You're the best, dude. I love you guys so much. Every time, like, I'm feeling down about an episode, you're like, nah, Bug, you got this. Like, they're so positive. Abel's feeling down on himself. He's like, I shouldn't be in the show. Kurt's not here. They're like, no, Abel's awesome. And then we always have the outsiders that come in and are like, this show sucks. You talk too much. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, okay, you're right, but go watch someone else's channel.
Watch it. Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. Did I, like, beg you to come over here and please watch? Like, go away. Let our viewers watch our channel and enjoy the show, you know? If I don't like a YouTube channel, I just don't watch it. I don't sit there and go, I don't like you. Okay, bye.
Cool, bro.
See ya. But for the ones that do, thank you guys, and we appreciate you. And we appreciate all the positive feedback that we get in the comments. I really read them all. And a lot of times you guys bring me my mood up and really elevate my spirits.
It feels good.
It feels good, dude.
It does.
We do this for them. If they weren't watching it, we wouldn't do it.
Sure,
we would have
yeah.
stopped the show. If Abel and I filmed the first episode of Extraction, and we sat there and watched the views go up and up and up, and we're like, and the comments were positive. We're like, this is what we're doing now.
I guess
they like it, we're doing it. Because if you didn't like it, we would have stopped and moved on to something else. So this show exists because of you guys.
Hell yeah.
We'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
See you, Uncle Jimmy.